Okay, so I want to kind of walk you through how I create my large cap trading watch list in the mornings. So right now it is in the middle of the market day, but I'm just going to kind of give you an idea of how it goes. So the first thing I do is I open up Trade Ideas. This is a scanner that's paid. It costs about maybe $1,700 a year, or possibly $1,200, somewhere around there. Depends on like what kind of features you want. And then what this is going to do is this is going to open up a scan that I built. So I look at these three windows from Trade Ideas. So typically in the morning, this is going to give me a list that I've already built to filter out. So basically, it's going to have large caps gapping over 3% with a volume over 100,000 in the pre-market. And what I'll do is I'll order the volume from highest volume to the lowest, and then I'll just go through and click, see which has news, and I'll do a brief scan here to see what has valid news. Most of the time I find that the news here is bullshit. So for large caps, I will accept earnings as being a catalyst. Now, I don't really pay attention to if the earnings was good or bad, because good or bad doesn't necessarily dictate the price direction that it's going to have. And I want the earnings to have already happened. So I don't want to trade before the earnings has happened. I want to trade after the earnings has happened. So I will jot down stocks that have earnings that are in my price range. And my price range that I prefer is about like $20 to maybe $75. Sometimes I will trade higher price ranges. So that's why I keep these higher price ranges on here, but the first ones I look at are the ones that fit into my price range. So I'll just click, I'll go down the list, see what has news. This is the earnings date right here. If it is less than 1, that means it's happening that morning or in that afternoon. So I can already quickly see that M is in my price range. It has earnings. LSID I know has been running a while, so we're going to see if that has news. No news on LSID. NVIDIA has earnings. AMD is probably a sympathy play. Roblox doesn't have news. And so on. So I'll just go down the list, see if it has valid news. If it's a large cap, which this list is all large caps, I accept earnings. And I want to see a good news catalyst. I don't want to see things like analyst upgrades and downgrades. I don't want to see people's opinions, which a lot of these articles can be opinions, or it'll be like hindsight type articles, like thinking about this. Like this is, that's hindsight. So I don't really care about that. I want to see real news that happened today, and it's not an opinion, or I want to see earnings. So my list would have M on it. So I put M over here. And then let me see what my list actually looked like from this morning, because this is midday. This is a midday scan, and it's different from what I saw this morning. So this was my actual list: M, Cisco, ZTO, GPS, KSS, Visco, AEO, and Woof. I went through all of these charts, and I found that the most decent charts were M, Visco. So let me put Visco over here. M, Visco, AEO, and Woof. So I dropped these in the watch list, and let me tell you about my watch list. So this is from eSignal. So I can get rid of Trade Ideas now. So I'll just close that out. I can get rid of this. So here's my watch list that is a feature on eSignal that you can use, which is really helpful. So I put the symbols here. I have the last price. I have the average true range. It shows me the change, and the headline count, which is pretty cool. As you can see, Macy's has 201 headlines about it. So that means a lot of people are writing about it, a lot of publicity of whatever's going on. And then this over here tells me the relative volume based off of the previous 5 minutes. So you can see that all 3 of these stocks that I picked have extreme volume. The ratio means that, so we have 868, that means it's trading 8.68 times its normal volume in the past 5 minutes or so. And I believe it averages out like the past 14 candles or something. So it's comparing the previous 14 candles. I'm not really sure. I can't remember right now. But all you need to know is that there is extreme volume, which gives you the potential to run through this ATR window. So now what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to open up the chart. So let me get my e-signal trading chart. And where did my watch list go? Actually, I don't even need the watch list anymore. So we were looking at M. And then from here, I would plot out the pivots, which I've already done. And then I would take the pivots from the daily chart and put them on the 5-minute chart. Now, if you want to know how I put those pivots up, I have another video, so you can always check that out. So I'll plot the pivots and then I'll drop on my indicators, which if you're confused about what these are, I have another video talking about what indicators I use. And maybe I'll redo it because I've actually added an indicator, which I find to be really useful, which is this gray line down here, which signifies the previous day's close. And I've noticed that I do get a lot of high reactivity when we come into this line here. So here is Macy's the pivot. So the next thing you want to do after you draw the pivots is you want to check the distance of these windows. So these pivots are the red lines, 251. And you want to make sure that that is bigger than the ATR, which is, you can see on this blue line right down here, it says 1.76. That is the ATR. So this is a really, really good window to trade in because 251 is bigger than 1.76. And that means algos are going to want to push the price through this window and capitalize on that window. So since we're midday, we can see what happened this morning is the price actually did blow through, hit this level exactly, and came back down. And when it hit this level, it came right back up again. So that's 1, 2, 3 times that you could have traded that window. Okay, let's check out Visco. So you would do the same thing here. Check. So I plotted all the pivots, added on my indicators, and now I want to check the ATR, which is 2.89. Right there. It says it in blue right there, 2.89. Open up the 5-minute chart, and then let's see if we have a window that's bigger than 2.89. So that's pretty close. This purple line right here is my 5 a.m. mark. So wherever the 5 a.m. candle has closed is where I'll put that mark. So this would be a valid window here. The 5 a.m. mark to this pivot up here. So you could be trying to get your entry as close as you can to here. Your target would be up here. And let's try to do a 2-to-1 stop, or you could do however it is that you do stops, as long as you stick to your rules. So my stop would be roughly the 50 EMA from the daily chart. So this is how you could trade this window. You want to keep in mind watching the relative volume, making sure it's still high as you're trading this. Typically, once you get through the first window, it's going to slow down if you're trying to get back through the window. So you want to be trading, if you're doing day trades, finding those extreme volumes and really just looking at the first, hour. So Pacific time would be 6:30 to like 7:30 or 8. New York time would be 9:30 to about like 10:30 or 11. And that is when you're going to have the highest volume, the highest volatility, and that's the best time to take a trade, especially if you have this ATR window is available to you. Sometimes the pivots will be like they'll be smaller than the ATR, in which case I will X out that stock and it won't make it onto the watch list. So yeah, that's pretty much the general idea of how I create these watch lists in the morning. I want to make sure that those pivot windows are larger than the ATR, and there's extreme volume. It's a large cap, gapping more than 3%, with volume over 100,000 in the pre-market, and that's really what I'm paying attention to the most. So I hope you like this video, and that's how I create my watch list. Now, if I create a course, I will go into detail about like how to set this window up, like how do you even get this on there, because that's a whole thing, getting up your charts, getting them right. And let me just show you my other two monitors that I have up here and how they look. So on one of my other monitors, I have kind of like the market sentiment. So I'll keep track of the Q, the SPY, all of the sectors, and the UVIXY, which I like to track. And then on my other window, I have my watch list stocks on the 5-minute charts. So the ones that I've been paying attention to lately are Mara, LSID, XPEV, and STNE. Those were from yesterday. So I do keep track of these, even though it's not the day that I posted the watch list. So yeah, if you guys like this video, let me know. Give me a thumbs up and follow me on StockTwits at HeyLittleTrader.